Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, I'm Dale Beaumont and welcome to this exciting new series all around sales management. It's called Top Gun Sales Management and it features one of the world's leading sales trainers, Wayne Berry. And I'll be introducing you to him in just a few moments' time. Specifically, our topic for this interview is when is the right time to hire a sales team for your business? That coming up in just a moment. All right, welcome back. In this interview, we're going to be talking to one of the world's leading sales trainers, Wayne Berry, and our topic is when is the right time to hire a sales team for your business. Now, what I want to quickly do is just to set the scene and to explain a bit of context as to why we've created this series called Top Gun Sales Management. Because as an entrepreneur, you're probably good at what you do. Maybe it's creating widgets or selling services. You're good at what you do. But when you get into business, you now suddenly realize you're wearing 15 different hats because you've got to create the leads. You've got to sell your product or service. You've got to build and manage your website. You oftentimes got to deliver that product or service as well. You've now got bookkeeping. You've got accounting to do. You've got to run all the administration. You're doing so many different things. So the portion that you can allocate towards selling is maybe just a couple of hours a day. So what many businesses do is they reach a bit of a plateau in terms of the growth of their business because there's only so many days that you can dedicate to selling because you've still got to run the rest of your business, and most people reach a plateau. So at some point, you're going to need to hire other people to do the selling so you can then run the other aspects of your business. So we've created this series specifically to dive into the subject in sales management, and we've got a number of 45-minute interviews, and we're going to do a deep dive into all the different aspects of how to succeed as a sales manager, because it is something you have to learn as an entrepreneur. You've learned so many other skills, but this one skill around sales management is something that you need to learn. If you don't, it'll seriously hold your business back. Now, being in this position myself, I'm very curious about what we're going to discuss over this series. I've got so much to learn myself, so I'm going to be asking all of your questions about how to do this successfully. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Wayne Berry. Wayne Berry is from Top Gun Sales, and he's been in sales for over 40 years in selling, and the majority of that also in sales management as well. So he's coming with us with a huge wealth of experience, and I'm just going to now introduce you to Wayne, and I'm going to ask the first question, which is, tell us a bit about your skills and why you're uniquely qualified to talk on this subject of sales management.
Well, great to be with you, Dale. Yeah, look, sales is my passion. I guess that's the main thing why I created the Top Gun Business Academy, which focuses mostly on sales and sales training for people in business, such as our viewers, salespeople, sales managers, those sort of people. And I started my sales career when I was really very young. I was 17 years of age. I was in that half of the class that made the top half possible all the way through school. Hated school. The thought of university was too much to bear. I come from a working class family, a lot of love in my family, but no money, and no business background either, incidentally. And I decided that I wanted to enjoy the good life quickly, and I equated the good life with making money back in those days. I'm a little bit more balanced in my approach now, but I looked around and I saw who are really doing well, who are driving the flashiest of cars, because I was 17 years of age, born in Queensland, don't hold that against me, but we could have a license and we could have a car at age 17. And I noticed the people who drove the flashiest of cars seemed to have a lot of spare time. These were salespeople. I remember going up to one in the street saying, well, what qualifications do you need to be in sales? And they said, none really. And I thought, well, I could do that.
And what did you start selling as a 17-year-old?
I joined a company called the NCR Corporation.
Okay.
Back then, they had a policy you had to be 25 years of age to be in sales with them, but I convinced them to start me in sales support. My boss went on long service leave for 3 months. I promoted myself to sales, proved to the sales manager I actually was serious about it. He offered to train me if I would arrive at 7 o'clock every morning. He did. I learned. I went out, applied the ideas, and I was very successful. I was in the top 10% of sales performers in that company within the first 12 months. Went to Las Vegas. That was the first place. They sent me to attend a convention. Yes. And again, I thought, wow, in Las Vegas, this is the life. So very passionate about sales right from that early age. It was basically the IT industry before it was called IT. It was in the electronic cash register, point of sale terminal area and computers. And then I got involved in sales management. I got involved in sales management when I was around about 20 years of age.
Wow.
So I moved into it quickly. Accelerated success. I figured, wow, hey, I've conquered sales. I need to move to the next level, which is sales management. A little bit arrogant, perhaps, but self-belief. Got into sales management and fell flat on my face. And I think that's an important message for our viewers here today. Just because you've been successful in sales does not qualify you to be good at sales management.
Okay.
I discovered how little I knew about sales management, and I encounter so many people today who are running around as sales managers or business owners, essentially still closing the sale and doing the sales work. If they do that, they don't leverage themselves in any way. They run themselves ragged, and that's not the job of a sales manager. The job of a sales manager is to leverage themselves by getting results through people, not for people. And that was the first major lesson I learned. And I guess I'm fortunate because I discovered that we can develop any skill if we're serious about developing the skill, if we go looking for the answers. And back in those days, I was fortunate I had a good mentor and my first sales manager. I then discovered there were these things called books and audio cassettes. Some of our viewers won't remember audio cassettes, but the answers were on audio cassettes. Now, these days, the answers are on YouTube, of course. But I started listening to audio cassettes, reading books on sales management, became very good at sales management. Recruited my first team, created a very successful team. For a competitor for the NCR Corporation, I actually moved companies to do that. And then I moved into business for myself. I figured that once I had mastered this idea of sales management, I would take that to the broader market. So by the age of 21, I had actually created my own business, and I went into the broad marketplace. I essentially went to companies and said, hey, isn't it a good product? It's a great market, but you don't seem to be achieving. And if you can just imagine them looking at this 21-year-old kid saying, well, what would you know? I said, look, hey, you got everything to gain, nothing to lose. I will work with your team on the basis of you pay me a percentage of the increase in GP that I generate. If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen, you don't pay me anything. You have nothing to lose. And some people took me up on that. I did very well financially in that first year and beyond that. And so did my clients. And this 21-year-old kid doing this stuff, 21, 22 years of age. I think I'd be very, very passionate again about being in business, being in sales management, getting results through people. And then I had an opportunity to work with an American by the name of James Rowan. Now, some of our viewers may not even know of James Rowan, but I'd suggest...
Or Jim Rowan.
Yeah, Jim Rowan. Well, yeah, but Jim, James. In fact, I named my oldest son after James. He had such a profound influence on my life.
Sadly passed away recently.
Yeah, he did. And we were friends for most of his life, and we
and he
stayed
was the
in
mentor
touch.
of Tony Robbins as well,
Absolutely.
which many people would know.
Of course, Tony was a salesperson. A lot of people don't know that. Tony was a salesperson working for Jim Rowan.
Wow.
He was in the Southern California office when I knew Jim, and I met Tony through Jim back in those days. And not that Tony would ever remember me probably these days. But yeah, look, that's what it was about. And a promoter in Australia said, hey, you know a lot of people, your clients. I'm bringing out this American speaker. And I listened to the audio and I watched the video, and he spoke kind of funny, but wow, I looked at the message. This is incredible. Share it with my clients. And we had 350 people come to a seminar in Melbourne. And then I got into the seminar promotions business. I worked with some amazing American speakers.
Who were some of those?
Well, I started with Jim. Jim introduced me to Dennis Waitley. Dennis Waitley introduced me to Brian Tracy. I got to work with Herb Cohen, who wrote a book called You Can Negotiate Anything. I got to work with Mark Victor Hansen,
Yes.
Chicken Soup for the Soul. I got to bring out Earl Nightingale.
Earl Nightingale.
Remarkable man, yeah. Brought him all the way out of retirement, of course, brought him out here to present his program on The Strangest Secret.
Yes.
He introduced me to Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. This is really going back,
These are all the greats, all the gurus.
Absolutely, and they've gone to God now.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very privileged to work with those people. So I got turned on at a very young age to personal development. And I realised that there were really no limitations except the limitations we place on ourselves. And that
Yes.
goes for the people watching this program today. The good thing about it is it's all comes down to skill and attitude.
Right.
And the good thing about skills is all skills can be learned if you've got the right attitude, if you're coachable, if you're prepared to learn, prepared to take in ideas. And I guess our viewers fall into that category, they wouldn't be watching here now.
Now, this whole series is all around sales management, and you've already made the first key point. Just because you're good at sales doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good sales manager. Why does success over here doesn't ensure success in sales management?
Well, look, the fact of the matter is, as I've said before, sales management is about getting results through people. And certainly what you know about sales is good because you can train. Hopefully you train your people as to what to do. But again, you probably have had the instance, the case where you've known somebody who's an expert at something, but they're a terrible trainer. They don't know how to impart that knowledge to people. And there's certain vital functions that I think we're going to talk about today about the sales management role, the things that you need to know. And they're an entirely different set of skills. So my advice is don't make the mistake of thinking that just because you've mastered sales, you're going to be brilliant at sales management. But again, the good thing about it is it's a skill. All skills can be learned if you're serious.
All right, that's what we're going to talk about. Now, I want to know up front, do the skills of sales management differ from industry to industry, or are they kind of like universal?
They really are universal.
Right.
It's only the product, it's only the marketplace that the sales manager is working in that makes the difference. So yeah, we work right across the board. We've worked with we totaled it up a little while back, more than 300 different industries. And the principles are exactly the same. I don't really mind whether a client comes to me from the IT industry, whether they come to me from a franchise company. It's all pretty much the same. The same principles apply. And it's just a matter of applying it to their own unique situation.
Okay, now a topic for this interview is when is the right time to hire a salesperson or a sales team for your business and then grow that team. So when is the right time? Now we're going to talk about first of all, when's the wrong time, and then we'll talk about the right time later on, because I'm guessing a lot of entrepreneurs make...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.